Hey there everyone, this is Jeremy, the Music Andy, and we're here today to talk about Impera from Ghost. Papa Emeritus and his nameless ghouls come together for this fifth studio album, trending along the same genres as the previous album, that being the more hard rock, the more glam metal, the more heavy metal, kind of pop metal feeling. This is not what the band is typically known for playing. They're more known for being predominantly heavy metal, heavy psych, some doom metal in there, some progressive metal being in there. From the one day of this album being out, I am already seeing such polarizing results from bands. A lot of them want to go back into the old direction that they did and kind of continue that heavier trend, while a lot of them are still liking this glam rock approach and this more uplifted, positive feel to the music. I see a lot of people calling this a copy of Foreigner, of Bon Jovi, of Boston, and I can kind of see what some of them are saying. It is definitely playing to the more 80s style of rock, definitely that glam period that was happening. But a lot of the things that the band is praised for is kind of still evident on this album. The falsettos that Tobias is known for hitting are still going to be there. The shredding moments of the guitar, still going to be there. The kind of progression and switches and transitions between genres, still going to be there. Other good news about this album is that it is still a well-produced album. It is still very clean sounding. It's still very clear. It's almost as clear as a freshly washed window. Some good news of this album, though, that kind of goes along all of the genres, not really sticking to one of them, is that this is still a very well-produced album. This band is known for very well-produced music. It's very clean, it's very clear. The vocals have a lot of layering to them, and they can be very powerful and very direct and very easy to understand and to hear. The tones that are coming from the instruments on this album greatly match the genres that are going along with it, whether that be for the entire song, points of the songs, moments of the songs, or just independent playing. These kind of go with it. The 80s style synths are very hazy, they're very euphoric, they match the glam feel of this. The bass and the drums kind of are thumping, galloping, kind of matching the metal feeling of this, and the guitar just kind of is whatever is being played, kind of mimics it, kind of chameleons itself to the environment that it finds itself in. Now, a negative on this album that I feel is that there aren't a lot of memorable moments, whether that being from the instruments or the vocals. Everything is kind of just working together, not really creating a standoff moment for each other. The melodies vocally feel like they have been scratched by other bands in the past, whether that be Survivor, Boston, Journey, Foreigner, etc. in that glam period, hard rock period. Darkness at the Heart of My Love is a track that kind of pulled me in. It has an interesting guitar loop going on. It's kind of building into something. But the way that they kind of flow this vocally and melodically, it doesn't really connect for me. It's just kind of a ballad, and they just have a lot of layering on top of the vocals, trying to make it very emotional, but the lyrics aren't very emotional. The rhymes kind of feel forced on a lot of these tracks. When the summer dies, severing the ties, paint a pair of eyes, watch as it dries. I mean, just your kind of standard, the run-of-the-mill poetry and rhyming. Now, I don't want to just start slam dunking on this album, because there are some tracks that really did stand out and had some nice progressions and just some nice unpredictability to the album. Call Me Little Sunshine is a track that had a nice hammer-on, hammer-off kind of riff leading into this. It's very repetitive. And the end fill sections had these Pink Floyd kind of gritty moments. The song is kind of constantly swinging between hard rock, glam metal, a little bit of prog moments in there. The guitar solo is a nice thing. It starts off as a shredding piece, but it does add some nice melody moments, some breathing moments into it, instead of just saying, hey, look at how fast I can play. Watcher in the Sky is more focused on the metal side of this album. It has some very nice chugging moments to it. And it features a guitar that's kind of haunting, it's floating, it's kind of screeching throughout this track at random moments. A nice touch and a very nice tonal piece on my ear. The only thing about this track is that I wish that it wouldn't go on as long as it did. The melodies, the chorus on it don't really need to be repeated as much as it did. It could have just been progressed all the way through without moments of repeating and relapse over it, but it is still a good track overall. The best track on this album, though, is the ending track, Respite on the Spitalfields. It is a track that doesn't follow the kind of, simple pop, rock song structuring of intro, verse, chorus, and it is a track that is kind of progressing throughout it. Previous tracks really stick to maybe two genres and kind of flip between the two of them. This is a track that kind of mixes all of the ones that this album has to offer and adding some more to it. The vocals offer a wide range of approaches. We have some very clear, direct in the beginning. We have some screeching vocals, then some heavily affected reverb delayed ones, and then we move into the famous falsettos. The guitars do a good job of matching their environment, being the indicator of the emotions on this track, really letting it boil over at points, letting it settle at points. I'll give slight credit to the track Kaiserion. It is a track that is very upbeat. It has a lot of progressive and technical moments to it. It has a nice swing to it overall, and the main riff that is kind of repeated throughout the track is very nice and it's very pleasant on my ears. But again, it just doesn't have a lot of memorable moments besides that guitar. Everything else just kind of feels a little bit basic, a little bit bland to the genre. Overall, this is a genre of music that I don't find myself too much of a fan of. Maybe when I was younger, I could really get into some Boston on Rock Band, but that's not really the case. However, this is a very well-produced album, and it has a lot of expertise going into it. Though what is being recorded and what is being produced really isn't the most unique to its genre. It's not very memorable to me. And that is not just fault of the fact that I don't like this style of music as much. This doesn't feel as unique and fresh as other things that Ghost has done. If you love this album, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you hate this album, there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. I'm going to go 5.1 bed sheet ghosts out of 10. What did you think of this album? What albums would you like me to review in the future? Please leave a comment below and let me know. Subscribe if you like the content, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you.